He is a four-time MLA, one of the longest-serving ministers in the Telangana Congress, and also a former Telangana PCC chief. Mr. Ponnala Lakshmaiah is a man of many parts, a well-read man who studied abroad and who has a firm grip on several subjects under the sun, of which irrigation and agriculture are one of those subjects which he really loves to talk about. But today we are going to talk about a variety of subjects in this program. Hello and welcome to the show.
Oh, brother, good evening.
Good evening.
Not only to you, to your management and to the viewers.
Thank you so much.
Good evening.
What is happening to the Telangana Congress in Jangaon?
Why in Jangaon? Everywhere. No, Telangana itself. See, who is KCR? He started his political career as a youth Congress fellow. Then, for the opportunity, he joined TDP. Then he was there for some time, and then he couldn't get a chance, ministerial berth. Then he started thinking of doing something else for himself. What does that mean? A man for his interest, not a man for the people. So this background one has to understand. Then, when the Telangana movement, it's a movement, it's the wish of the people, it's the concern of the people for a better future for the Telangana people, Telangana region. This was going on right from 1953-54. I, as a small primary school student in my village, what happened? We said at that time, Vishalandra Voddu, Telangana Muddu. So we used to ring the bell of the school by ourselves. And then when the bell rang, all the students used to come out into the streets saying, Vishalandra Voddu, Telangana Muddu, Jai Telangana, Telangana. So this movement has been there in the hearts of the people for many decades, almost 6 decades. So he has taken up after Chennareddy in late 77 and 79, whatever happened prior to that, 68, 69. Then it subsided again. Then the feeling came, we as Congress MLAs, 42 from Telangana, gave a representation signing that we need a separate state of Telangana to Sonia Gandhi when she came to Hyderabad. That was in Lakeview. So we were the first people to do that. And as a matter of fact, I was the first person in 91 to, as a minister in the United Andhra Pradesh, sent all the MLAs, all political party MLAs other than Telugu Desam to Delhi, Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, to have Telangana developmental activity. So I was the person out of about a dozen ministers, I was the only minister flagged off the AP Express. That means we are committed right from childhood, and then after coming back from US, and in 91 with all the MLAs of assembly opposition MLAs, we flagged off. That means that concern was there. In 2001, prior to this man came, we signed, 42 people of us signed. Then he took the situation, then he floated the party. Then when our Congress High Command appointed Pranab Mukherjee committee to go into the aspect of giving separate Telangana, so I myself took Professor Jayashankar and other professors personally to Delhi on my expense, and we presented them for 2.5 hours the views of the Telangana people for necessity of Telangana formation. So till that time, KCR does not know Professor Kodanram, or Professor Kodanram never knew him. Once he knew that he went to this one, I took him, then he started calling him. He said, what do I have to do? Nothing. He was reluctant to go. So because he is not a politician. So finally after 1 month, several phone calls, then KCR himself went to Professor Jayashankar, not Kodanram. So that's how it started. So his intention is his self-interest. If it is for Telangana interest, can he come out and say that his Diksha, Amarana Diksha, how do you call it, till death?
Fast until death.
Fast unto death. Was it real? No. He has taken 750 kilocalories of liquid diet every day. It's a matter of record. NIMS has it. So why we didn't talk? Because he was fighting for Telangana. We didn't say. But now, immediately after that, we say we cannot put the facts before. So he is a man of opportunity. He is a man for himself. He is a man for his growth and development, not for the region, not for the people of Telangana. So what is Telangana, Jangaon or Congress? For example, he came to Jangaon for an election campaign. I'll just give you one example. You mentioned Jangaon. In his first election meeting there, I am the PCC president at that time, he declares, I am reorganizing the state, I am creating more districts, and Jangaon will be the first district to be given. Because he wanted to issue the sentiment of the Jangaon people for his party. I can understand. It's a political game, this thing. I never said anything. But has he done it? We had to, myself and DK Aruna, 48 hours hunger strike in Indira Park. 48 hours. Without water, without food. We did that. Unfortunately, the last districts declared was Gadwal and Jangaon. They are supposed to be the first ones. You can imagine, we are not getting into other details. Just because you mentioned Jangaon, I am mentioning that. You can imagine a person, what he promised in his 13 minutes of election speech, not talking about anything else, and he has not lived up to it. For that, we had to struggle. But more than 400 days of 144 section in Jangaon. All political parties, headed by me, agitated. Sahaya Nirakarada. We did that. And cases were there.
Yeah. Do you think the establishment of separate districts, the creation of more districts by KCR in Telangana, it has had a positive effect? In fact, it was an idea of urbanization, increasing the number of tier 2 cities, tier 2 towns, so that there is more urbanization in towns and cities which are actually being scavenged by the growth of Hyderabad. Hyderabad as a mega city, it takes people, it takes talent, it takes produce from smaller cities. So do you think the fact that the creation of smaller districts and town as the headquarters, it has led to an increasing level of urbanization in Telangana, an idea which you also had proposed at one point of time? What was your idea and what has been implemented? What changes do you see?
I am surprised at the idea that has gone into you, and then you are saying. Urbanization has nothing to do with the district formations. So, first of all, we should be realistic in assessment. Just because you said it, urbanization, good thing, that's why he had a wonderful idea, it's absolutely wrong. The development was not there before district formation. What Hyderabad is, what did he do in 7 years or 6.5 years? We did it. What's that? Rajiv Gandhi Airport, one of its kind in the world, in its category. And then the outer ring road, never before. And then metro, it was judged, it gave the first prize in New York in the world for this. Who did it? For what we did? For the growth of opportunities in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is geographically located, we have to capitalize. Every 1 person out of 3 persons in the world are Indians in IT sector. Every 1 person out of 3 Indians is from Telugu people. What Telugu people? Hyderabad is the center. We nurtured it, we recommended it. 2004, prior to our government coming into power, 2004, the hardly IT production was not even 4,000 crores. We made it to 58,000 crores. That's almost like 12 times. And then we got into many companies, this thing. We have given incentives for companies to set up. So that's why the growth has come, not because somebody said, district formation. So that's why the clear understanding of the background is more essential. Why I am saying is, you as a commentator, as an interviewer, your words is being broadcast. Your perception is broadcast, which is not the reality. That's why I want to correct you. So no, 1 second, on the districts. Well, district formation is required, sir. Earlier, there's too many departments and too much work, too many people, too many mandals in one district. So, for the convenience of the people, for the administration carrying the programs of the ruling party or people's programs must be easily be taken to people. So, to do that, the bureaucratic hurdles, the delays should be avoided, lessened. So that's why the district formation. But one thing, it's good idea. Satyameva jayate. You have to tell the truth. Then why all this system? So that's why what I am saying is, for that he has really did bad thing. How many districts?
Exactly.
1 second. How many districts? In each district you have 3 constituencies. In one mandal, some villages are in this district, some villages are in that district, some villages are in some other constituency. So we suggested, I proposed, there are 17 parliament segments. So minimum 17 districts that will create an atmosphere of all 7 assembly segments in one district. Now what happened? My Jangam constituency is in 2 districts. So not only that, for example, one mandal people, they go to police ACP to a far off place, and then revenue somewhere else, and for other things somewhere else. They are not together. It's most ironical. On top of it, how foolish, how not taken the consequences of that. There is 371D. I was the only first person, and I was the only person to warn KCR about 371D. You have to take the permission from Government of India. The article is there. The backward districts and not so backward districts have to be declared. If you don't do that, the central assistance won't come. So, for example, 371D, we are not getting it, and on top of it, no new employment, because that is not approved yet. I believe the Government of India advised recently not more than 17. What I said was earlier 17 in 2014. So the same thing I have been subject to correction. But what I am saying is, you cannot issue a new job notification because we have not clarified which is the backward district, which is not the backward district under 371D. So it's just he gets the idea and does it. That's what is that? Papam, Prajala Pakshana,
Yeah, is it a function of the fact that he has got widespread support and he's able to steamroll any kind of initiative without thinking of the background, without taking the views of the opposition?
You see,
Brute majority is working. Is that what you
brute
see?
majority is one, support is one. Electioneer is in that direction. Just because you win, that means everybody supports it, scheme. For example, today, why entire country is opposing farm bills? Why entire country opposed demonetization? Why entire country? Okay, they are in power, but why entire country opposed the GST? What is the impact of GST today? What was the GST our government proposed? You know what? When we wanted to put up the bill in the parliament before 2014 Congress government, the same BJP demanded 14% GST only, whereas we proposed 18%, only one rate all over the country. And to do that, it is not the Congress decision alone. We in the state of Andhra Pradesh, as a minister, even in towns like Warangal, we had the Chamber of Commerce meeting, we had the businesses meetings, we proposed, we told the act how it is going to come, what do you think, what is the changes that you need. So we debated, discussed, not in the parliamentary committees alone, but with the people, with the concerned people, with the affected people. We discussed. Then we wanted one single slab rate 18%, they opposed it, they wanted 14%, with 14% it is difficult to run the government. Revenues will not be coming. So, we could not place before the parliament because we could not pass it. And the same BJP, after coming to power, do you know, it is not 14% they proposed, it is 28%, several categories of percentage. Then later on, under pressure, they started reducing it in some items, not overall. The rate is from 12 to 28%. So, where is the sanctity of their talk? So, the word you use, support, while they are in power, they are doing it. So, when they are out of power, that means can we cancel everything? Does it happen?
You also you are talking broadly of the Congress policies, and I can sense a pride of being a congressman in you, or the pride of the fact that you have been a congressman for so many years. What is about this particular party, your Congress party, that energizes you so much? Because I have seen within your office, I have seen right up there a secular Indian, and I am a congressman. You have been a person who has been a congressman for most of his life. You never moved this way, that way. What is that about your party and the party's presence in Telangana, its participation in the form of Telangana, its involvement in the people of this life, of the life of this state, in its policies, in its land, its agriculture, in the development of the state, that energizes you so much? And you have been talking quite often about the role of the Congress in the development of this state, although the voters have not voted back you to power.
So, first of all, the election management, assurances to the people, carrying the people, creating an impression either by sentiment or by your true heartful assurances. So, people get affected naturally. So, we also came to power, we also lost. But one thing about Congress is, it is a grand old party. It always thought about the people of this country and the country. I am telling you, let's forget about, independence movement, Congress was spearheading and all that. Those who are not part of independence movement, they talk big and loud. Those who are not part of Telangana movement, never sacrificed anything, they capitalized the state, came to power, that's besides the point. But what is Congress, what is the state, country, India? In 1947, we got the independence. So, I don't want to go into the details of independence. One second.
I also request you to focus on the role of Telangana Congress in Telangana, sir.
Yeah. I'll come to that. I'll come to that. You asked me about Congress, why you are so energetic.
Telangana.
No, not only in Telangana. Telangana is a part of India. So, India is nothing but places like Telangana, states. 29 states and 7 or 8 centrally declared and ruled areas. What I am saying is, in 1947, what was this country? It was 35 crore population, 35 crore only. Today is 138 crore population, 2020. That's besides the point. So, what was the situation in 1947? 35 crore people were not able to get the food grains. In West Bengal, lakhs of people died of starvation in 1947 and 50. At that time, Government of India in the early 50s, we imported food grains from America under PL 480, wheat and corn, maize. And my family is one of the beneficiaries in the village taking that maize which was imported from this one. 35 crore people, 1947 to 51, 52, and it was so bad. Hardly 55 million tons of food grain production at that time, it was not sufficient. You know what it is today, 2014 or 2018, whatever, 2020. In spite of becoming 138 crore population, in spite of being, there is no starvation death. The food grain production has gone up to 280 to 90 millions with the Green Revolution by Mrs. Gandhi. 1 second, no, I have to put 3 points. Otherwise, there is no point of this Congress. So, what happened? No, 1 second. Oh, you can. Let me finish it. You can counter it.
Extend the.
No. Let me finish it and you can counter it. Then, what it is today? There is nowhere in the world that Food Security Act. Our UPA government has passed a Food Security Act. All over the country, almost 50 to 60 crore population receiving at the lowest price 3 rupees kg of wheat, and in our state we introduced 1 rupee kg rice. And not only that, with 138 crore people supplying food at the lowest rates in the world, we are exporting to 128 countries today. Is it by talk? Is it by magic? Is it by chirka, clicking like this? No, it's the foresight, it's the vision, it's the planning. That's what. Not only that, 2 more points. What was the Indian economy at that time? It was a bullock cart economy. No roads, no power, nothing, bullock cart. Today, we are the 3rd largest economic power in the world after Russia, US and Russia. One second, 3rd point. So, from bullock cart economy to 3rd largest, who are the people that we overcame? Sun never set in the empire of British people. The French Revolution, the origin of industrial revolution, and then the technology revolution, Japan, and Germany, the manufacturing giant. We overcame all of them, and then we are the 3rd largest economic power. It's by what? One second. The 3rd point. I, as a young boy in the early 50s, I read under castor oil Pramida lamp. There was not even kerosene. There was no power. Today, we are talking Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan. It's the technology development. It's the technology development of Congress prime ministers like Rajiv Gandhi for IT. So, this kind of development, this kind of influence on the people, vast majority of the people has changed this country like this. So, that's what country. So, Telangana is part of it. Hyderabad, I just told you. How Hyderabad has been developed. It's not by somebody just shouting. So, now you can question or cross-examine.
So now we know that you're talking about the 3rd largest economy. We do also know that there are 2 major points in the turnaround in Indian landscape in terms of the size of Indian economy and population. Let's stick to one. 1919 was the time when Indian economy was really bad. That's the turn which happened. Under Congress government, agreed. But the same person who brought about the kind of change, Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao, is son of this Telangana soil, is no longer respected in the Congress. Second point. Now, it has been 70 years. The British, 1857 is when the British government took over India. And they ruled for nearly 1947, that's 100 years. The Congress has ruled the country for like nearly 60 years. So, when the British have changed the country from 1857 to 1947 in the worst kind of way, what has stopped the Congress from making and changing India from 1947 for nearly 40 to 60 years? The point being that comparison with South Korea, comparison with other countries like Taiwan, with Vietnam, other countries of similar economic pedigree is ominous. So, if on the one hand, if you claim that the Congress has done this, also consider that time period it has taken. But we'll be going into something which really huge. Let me also ask you, in terms of Telangana, despite the fact that KCR has managed to drum up huge amount of support, and despite the fact that your party, Congress, has been so benevolent and so responsive to people's sentiment, why is that your leadership is unable to capitalize on that sentiment and come to power, or at least be seen as an entity which brought Telangana, which brought hope to the aspirations of people of this state?
So, the 3 things what you mentioned in your questioning or briefing or rather requesting demanding my replies. Number 1, PV. Congress party doesn't respect? What kind of statement is this? Who PV. Where is he from? What is the background? Where did he start his career? Where did he end up his career? Can you not analyze this? Can you not present it through your TV? No. The one statement, Congress doesn't respect PV. So he was a MLA in 1950 to 57. From MLA to a minister, first ever minister, endowments. And then he went on to become chief minister of the state in 1972, 71. Oh, 1 second. No, you have to give time because you raised 3 issues. I want to clarify 3 issues. No interruption. Please.
The period we are talking about is after his prime ministership and after his death.
1 second. I understand what you are trying to drive at, but you are not pointing out all this. My answer is definitely will answer you and the people who have a misconception. An individual, a MLA, could become in Congress a chief minister, and people like somebody self-interested people, dynastic party. So where did he become? He became the central minister from a remote small village. How is it possible? Unless, 1 second, no, let me answer it first. I'm sorry. Because you said we are not respecting it. It is the respect of the Congress, that's why he could become all the way to the Prime Minister of this country, a remote, small village person. Is it possible in anywhere? In spite of being accused. 1 second, what respect?
Vajpayee has become from criminal.
I know. Vajpayee has done. Okay. But why are you saying Congress party has not done this? No, what I am saying is, okay, everybody respected Vajpayee. What happened after 5 years? He lost the power. It's the game. Management of election. So was he bad? I don't consider Vajpayee was bad. So the election management, people's perceptions at that time dictates that. Okay, that is about PV. PV, Congress respects. It's a wrong statement. An ordinary person could go on becoming. So why he was not respected? That's bad. We don't agree. I don't agree. So you may have your opinion. Let me tell my opinion. Congress respects him. Oh, everybody talked about his 99th birthday. So that's not example. Some small thing which happened by somebody, you blow it up and say we don't respect. So that's not correct. So as much as your statement not respecting, it's much more my point, Congress party point. Congress respects. That's number one. Number 2, what is that you asked?
Okay, I was talking about the fact that in terms of the Telangana Congress, why has it not been able to muster the kind of public response, public mind space?
Okay. I'll answer that. So, did KCR campaign on the basis that he got Telangana? Do you think that he campaigned like that? If he had campaigned, he would have got 0. Because it was a fast and to death was something bogus. Then where was he when that Sakrajanal Samay? Where was he on the tank burn? Where was he when the bill was passed in the parliament? Do you think the 2 MPs will get the Telangana out of 544 or 545 MPs? Can anybody believe it? So that's why he has not campaigned that he got the Telangana. On the contrary, he wanted to raise the sentiment, give hope, saying that Congress has not done. What? Oh, 12% minorities, 12% STs. Oh, everybody likes it. Who doesn't want it? Okay, 7 years has it, that's a different matter, will come. Oh, SCs, my God, 3 acres is required. What is this half acre, 1 acre? In Telangana area, almost 26 lakh acres right from 1971 when Indira Gandhi came to power, we distributed it for poor people. Maybe half acre, maybe 1 acre, maybe 2 acres, maybe 1.5 acres. But he says, how can you do this? So I'll give you 3 acres. Do you know how much is required? For 10,000 people, he promised, 10 lakh people, 10 lakh into 3, 30 lakh acres. Do you have 30 lakh acres for acquisition? Is it possible? What rate? Even if you say 5 lakhs, it's 150,000 crores is 1 year's budget. Can you do that in 5 years? Can you do that in 10 years? Is it possible? So impractical assurances, giving the hope for the people. Then you had what is that double bedroom. So for example, Indira Gandhi time.
And Bhagirath scheme.
Oh, that's something different.
That's something.
Arey yaar,
yeah,
ठहरो, ठहरो,
definitely want
no,
you
no.
to-
That's why you have to learn more before you ask.
Yeah, I also want you to talk about it.
I'll talk about it. When is the Bhagirath he started after coming to power, not before coming to power. We are talking before coming to power what he did, right? So why he did that also I'll tell you if you give me the time. But that 3 acres is gone, no? Then double bedroom. So in Indira Gandhi time we had 400 rupees hut. We gave it to the poor people in the villages. So later on, when in 90s we made it to 2000 rupees per house and 4000 rupees for a penkutillu, then 8,000, then 12,000, it went on to 20,000 and 40,000. 20,000 and 40,000. So at that time it started with 400. So when our party 2004 came, we wanted everyone to have a house. We have built 55 lakh houses. 55 lakh houses, almost like 1,20,000 rupees each. 55 lakh houses, nowhere in the world, nowhere in the country we built it. But that may not be sufficient. But he instigated the people. Arey kya hai itna chota, itna small house, how will you live? How will you entertain your damad, son-in-law when he comes home? So it added. So what we did Arogyasri, what we did free power, what we did pensions from 75 rupees to 200 rupees and our statement of 1000 rupees, what we did for Arogyasri, nowhere in the world. All that is gone. He never talked about Telangana and he talked about 3 things. He wanted to make a Dalit chief minister. So all Dalits wanted. Did he cut off his head? He said he will cut off his head if he can't make Dalit. So all kinds of false promises he made. Whereas Congress, either in the center or in the state, we take the manifesto. See, we have implemented 90% of our assurances. Because it's a party for the nation, party for the people, not for power. Power mongers disturb the system. Power mongers try to capitalize and raise the hopes and then try to take advantage of it. That's how he has come to power. It's a fact.
I want, sir, you are an expert on water, irrigation, and land issues. I want a brief summary from you on the kind of effect this Bhagirath scheme has had, because in purpose it looks like a wonderful scheme, because assured rural water drinking supply is something which all governments want. It's the thing of the future. How successful has this scheme been so far? A, and point B is that you also have clearing of water tanks and other things which probably could have led to increasing the water holding capacity in rural areas. Okay, so these 2 schemes I think are wonderful in concept. As an expert, as a person who has studied both these matters, can you just point us to where is the lacunae in these 2 schemes?
So, drinking water for every household. Who will say it is not required? How you give it is a question, right? So, do you think water was not given at all for the population till 2014 until KCR came to power? Until KCR became chief minister? So, we had almost 70% of the households are covered. It's a statistics all over the state. Remote areas were covered. And 30% of the other people, they were getting on the street taps or the small tanks which are built in the village streets. And in summer when the water shortage was there, we were supplying by tankers. It's a fact. Nobody died of thirst. Nobody died of starvation. So, 1 second please, 1 second please, because the thought process goes. So, if it is such a marvelous, such a wonderful thing, why did you not put in the election manifesto as the first item that you want to implement? Why did you not put the tank restoration in the election manifesto before elections? There is something behind it. What is behind it? Money making. When you say I will give water, do you think anybody will object? If anybody objects, people think he is a fool. So, but under that pretext, what have you done? More than 40,000 crores for Mission Bhagirath. His Bandaram will be exposed, already exposed. No, 1 second. So, he went to Nalgonda. I had a big pylon, 4 to 5 crores worth of pylon, as if he is going to give water for fluoride affected area. Do you know this fact? In 2004 to 2014, we had 3 phases of giving water for fluoride areas in Nalgonda. First phase, second phase, third phase. We were till 2014, third phase. Almost 95% of the villages are covered by Krishna water. Krishna water by 2014. What is he talking about? He just put a pylon as a symbol, as a tourist point, as a champion that he is giving water. Where have you given water? What happened to the 3 phases what we have given? So it's a misthing. It's making money. The corrupt practices in the name of the people's requirement and also sentimental value, nobody can say anything. But this cannot be hidden. When we come back to power, definitely he will be Chanchal Guda for the rest of his life. Not only for Mission Bhagirath, but Mission Kakatiya also. Mission Kakatiya we termed as, Commission Kakatiya. Mission Bhagirath is nothing but Kalvakuntla Bhagirath. For his interest. Mission Kakatiya, okay. Mission, 48,000, tanks are there. So we'll repair it, we'll have storage. Okay, I want to ask you one thing. All these facts will not be reaching every individual. But for people like you and me, when you ask, I must say, and media should project it. So, what cost? You have spent about 20-25,000 crores. Can we go together to your village? How much money is spent on the tank repair? Can we go? Are you ready? Your team is ready? You take me any village in that. For example, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs repair. So, how much money they spent? Actually, no record. It's all corruption. Okay, let us assume that he has repaired chairs. So, as you said, the water holding capacity has gone up. Fine. Then, 2013-14, our food production was 107.8 lakh tons. 107.8 lakh tons of food grains in Telangana before Mission Kakatiya, before 24-hour power. Why till 2018-19, even today, 1920, of course it exceeds. By 18-19, why the food production was less?
What could be the reason?
What could be the reason? So what you are saying, tanks have developed and more water is stored, then why they have not cultivated? Why food production has not gone up? Why with 24-hour power, why food production has not gone up? In spite of rains, in spite of this thing. So it's a misnomer. It's misleading the people. But this year, yes, last year, this year, it will exceed. I understand. Because more rains, more water has come, and he claims Kaleshwaram. Not even a drop of Kaleshwaram water is used for irrigation. Not even 1 acre of Ayakat is created. We'll come to that later. So, the natural this thing. So, now he takes credit for that. That's why what he is saying for his camouflaging his corrupt practices, he uses the people's welfare angle so that nobody can question. He is very clever. Clever in what? Making money, coming back to power, not doing good to the people. Let him come for a debate. I had the opportunity to debate with him on Krishna water for 5 hours 45 minutes with a major channel on a Sankranti day in 2006, I remember. So why he is not able to come for debate? Why he is not taking any challenges? Why he is not meeting opposition people? Why he is not meeting people? Because he is guilty. He cannot answer. Why he holds the assembly only for few days? Why he hides himself in farmhouse? Can you imagine such a worse flood situation in Hyderabad? Where is he? Have you seen him? At least in the helicopter he has not toured. We to 1977 as Congress Party, 1991 as Congress Party, 2006 as Congress Party, 2011, 2012 as Congress Party. Well, we did go to the people and assisted them. We put milk packets and food packets by the helicopter. What I am saying? Where is he? So he announced what? 550 crores, 10,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, elections are there. But for his not showing his face, he is announcing a government package. If you are really interested, why you have not done that in Warangal? Why all over the state? Cattle died, houses collapsed, crops lost. Why you are not, announced any package for such, difficult people?
Sir, the point being that you are saying that large amount of funds which are generated in the state are being misutilized, both for irrigation projects, for Kakatiya mission, house building. The funny thing is, here we have a state which had 11 districts and which had a metropolis like Hyderabad generating huge amount of revenue, and which revenue was at one upon a time shared between two states. And despite the fact that this state has surplus, do you think the kind of revenue which Hyderabad is generating, this particular state is generating, had that opportunity to create something big for the state has been squandered away in terms of freebies, in terms of schemes which actually don't see completeness? For example, you have got various housing for various communities and castes, and also the sheep rearing initiative. Do you think a kind of opportunity is being lost by the Chief Minister, and the kind of revenues in which any Chief Minister would love to have at his disposal for the development of state? Do you think that kind of there's a mismatch between the kind of potential and the kind of actual development which is happening?
Okay. Very interesting question. A cheater is supposed to cheat. How he cheats is a question to be evaluated, must be found out by investigation. So, his aim is to amass wealth. At the same time, freebies or lollipops by giving to the people, he thinks that he can escape from the onslaught of corrupt practices. So, that is what he is playing the game. So, you are given sheep, it is fine, but have you not taken 100,000 crores from 38,000 crores to 100,000 crores for Ranayta Chevella Kaleshwaram project? Where is it? Not a single drop. You almost proposed 65,000 crores for Palamur Rangareddy. It's almost 7 years. Where is it? Have we utilized that? It was a surplus state. We had only 65-70,000 crores in all these 70 years as a loan in Telangana part of it. Today it's more than 3 lakh crores. So you mismanaged it to take it. By doing so, you are offering Raitu Bandhu little bit. You are offering sheep. You are offering fish seed. As a fisheries minister, at that time I introduced subsidies for a fisherman. I introduced 50% subsidy. You know the reason why? The other 50% the people have to pay. They will be cautious about the quality and the quantity that they receive. Today you made it 100%, and people are taking away money, and a quality seed is not being supplied, and quantity is also not being supplied. You are siphoning. So under that pretext, free seed, then you are saying that sheep, okay, fine, but how much this thing is there? Under that, you want to hide your corruption under Mission Bhagirath, Mission Kakatiya, and the corruption in irrigation, corruption in electricity plants, corruption in power purchase under 24-hour freebie. You loudly say 24-hour. Just let us go together to a village, remote village, whichever village you want. We will ask a farmer, how many boats you have? How much time you give power to irrigate your place? Are you using 24 hours? No. They said, a season like this is only 3 hours, 4 hours. A season like some other thing, somehow maybe 7 hours, 10 hours. So, the idea of 24 hours name, he uses it for making money, camouflaging the reality.
So, frankly, any politician would actually do whatever you are accusing Mr. KCR of trying to appease the population, of trying to announce schemes. But isn't it the fact that you are parties in the opposition, and despite all those advantages in terms of facts, figures, and the kind of, you say, phony announcement, why is the Congress party not able to capitalize and bring all this to fore? Is it because the Congress is an extremely divided house? Your politicians are literally fighting each other fisticuffs, both in Jangaon, where it recently happened last month, and also all across. Why is the Telangana Congress such a divided house?
So, they see, the leadership is one question, and the programs have to unite the party people. So, there is some lacunae, difficulties in planning and in leadership. Oh, one second. Okay, that's okay. But just trying to come to power, a regional party, an individual party can say anything. Okay.
Frankly, if you are saying that that party has promised more, it's coming to power, it's just a case of sour apples. Can you do something? Can the Congress party bring all these issues to the fore, to the public, and convince the public? Because the TRS is in the second term in the office.
Is getting dissipated. People are now understanding it. People are realizing it. It takes some time. And in the process, the party has to be strengthened. The party leadership has to take the programs. Yes,
Your party, the Congress party, is the only viable alternative in this particular state, which can give a tucker to the TRS. But despite being in the second term of this government, there has not been one kind of a movement which a party has been able to effectively put forward it. Every day in the Gandhi Bhavan, elsewhere, we see fist fights between congressmen. We see, I can understand that it's part of the way Congress functions, but such division of opinions, voices won't go well with the public. And what you're trying to say will remain within the TV cameras. It won't go to public. Your party may not, as it says, send KCR to Chanchalguda. He will forever remain in power. What is lacking in you? What is lacking within your party?
See, first of all, there is too much freedom in the party. There is a leadership direction deficiency, and we have to correct it. We have to strategize people's programs to people. So that we have to do it. Little bit more freedom, differences. In today's media, it's blown out of proportion. But do you say in TRS or in a regional party, everything is right? Can you watch? Can you certify? Is it true? No. Because suppression. You can't talk. And senior most people, they can't even see the CM. What kind of freedom they have?
So obviously a party which has that kind of governance will collapse.
One second. So a regional party has that kind of thing. In a national party, it's somewhat liberal. It doesn't mean that we cannot go to the people and explain, or people cannot come back. So what happened? 2018 assembly elections. What happened in 2019 parliament elections? Has heavens have fallen? No. See, people's attitude changes. They do change. So now, with all the failures, people are understanding, and the Congress can only do it. Do you mean to say in 10 years we have not done anything? That's why we lost power? No. We have done historical developments, either irrigation or Arogyasri or pensions or housing or anything.
But hopefully what you have done should bring you back to power. But my also last question to you also to be is that, is there any kind of panacea, is there any kind of method which you think the Congress party, you have been a former Telangana Congress PCC chief and you have seen the kind of politics happening, is there any kind of formula, is there any kind of instruction or any kind of initiative you think that the Congress party in Telangana needs to do so that it can put its houses in order and ensure a common united fight?
Oh yeah, see, that's why we are devising a program of people to the people. That's first step. Second, a kind of discipline and solidarity in the programs. Everybody has to fall in line. Third, the failures of this man, one man, and his assurances, and his dictatorial behavior, his undemocratic ways, and his corrupt practices. Ultimately, people will take them. We are taking them. Unfortunately, they are not being carried by many. People like you must help us. As a matter of fact, we are a democratic country. So, it's all right. Now, social media has come. So, social media is also helping. I am not saying it's an evolution. It's a strategy. It's a time that takes. Nothing is permanent. Is the people's wish will be the final. So, people's wish can't be same. Well, we have seen in the elections, Congress, in spite of all these great things, we lost power. We came back and we will come back. Truth prevails. Satyameva jayate. Ultimately, that's what's going to happen. The country first, my region is next. The country first, our family or whatever it is. region and race, religion are next, country first. That's what I say. Thank you, Sunilji. It's very nice, very interesting. Anyway, we have brought out some issues, and thank you for your management, and thank you all viewers, because you are the people who are required to analyze it, see it, fact finding, and your wish, this thing will ultimately prevail. Thank you.
So that was Mr. Ponnala Lakshmaiah, who was former Telangana PCC chief, a man brilliant in his thoughts, well studied, and today he has given us a prescription and also an ideas on a wide range of topics which covered not just the nation but also for Telangana and all aspects of it. Very interesting conversation here.